Oh, classic.
And Nicola joins us now. Good morning. This looks so up my street, honestly. So the marriage isn't out until the 14th of August. But tell us a little bit about it, Nicola. It looks brilliant.
It looks real.
Yes, it does.
Just let me put the shot on first.
Exactly. I mean, I think it's fair to say we've all been there. It is a look into the marriage of Ian and Emma. And basically, it's 4 episodes. And by the end of those 4 episodes, I promise you feel like you know these people inside out. It's really about the challenges of a long-term relationship, the difficulties, and all the gifts that a long-term relationship brings.
In those clips that we saw there, it makes it feel real straight away. You know, having a debate, not an argument, but a debate on an aeroplane.
Jacket potato.
About jacket potato.
That's just life. That's real life. That's what we want to see.
That is exactly what a relationship is all about. It's so funny.
Hands up if you haven't had a row. If you haven't had a row with your partner when you're either travelling to a holiday or coming back from a holiday. I think it's the classic moment, those moments of transition, when things that haven't been said, you know, week on week, month on month, for some reason they come out when you're at times of travel.
What happens to planes? Yeah, you're so right. Mine's just normally that he starts falling asleep before we've gone anywhere. I'm like, we have 3 children. Don't fall asleep right now, love.
Oh, you and Tess need that conversation.
Oh, really?
As soon as we pull away, I am gone.
It's not normal. Anyway, I'll call Tess about that.
Yeah, Nicola, it must be really refreshing to act in something alongside Sean Bean about topics of a relationship which are really simple, but yet you're bringing them alive and you're really connecting with your audience because, like we've started the conversation already, we've all been there. Yeah. We've all done it. These are simple things that mean sometimes so much within our 4 walls.
Yeah, and isn't it? I mean, the truth is the simple things are always the most difficult things to convey, I think. What I loved about Stefan, our brilliant writer-director, is he's interested in what happens in an ordinary relationship, not the ones we normally see that are filled with, great dramatic moments within a drama normally. What about real relationships? How do they work? How are they equally complicated and funny and beautiful and sad? But it's very hard to achieve that naturalism. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it hard to convey? Because essentially you're trying to convey 30 years of marriage in what's just 4 episodes.
You had a week's worth of rehearsals, right, Nicola?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, that's astonishing. It doesn't happen anymore. It used to when I first started acting, but it's gone out of fashion. But we did a whole week of rehearsal, myself and Sean and Stefan, and by the end of it, I think the 3 of us felt like we were married. I now feel like I'm married to both Sean Bean and Stefan, and will be forevermore. So we got to really get to know each other. I mean, I was a massive fan of Sean Bean's. Anyway, exactly. And frankly, it seems to me that if you're doing an acting job, the best thing you can hope for are incredibly talented actors to work with. I sort of think that might be the secret. You know, like when they at school, I remember them telling me you're always better to play like tennis or something against someone who's much, much better than you because it makes you look good. That's basically what I now am looking for in any job I do. You just keep getting people like, you work with Sean Bean, you're going to be okay.
Nicola, I'm sure that's what people say about you as well.
I was just going to say that, exactly that.
But let's talk about the big guy. He's got both a physical presence, hasn't he, and this kind of aura when you see or meet Sean Bean. And he's a real powerful actor. He's the kind of actor that can say 1,000 words in the raise of an eyebrow. Just give us a brief description of what those rehearsal rooms were like, because it's completely different being in rehearsal room to on set. So you walk on, there's Sean Bean. Do you just fire out your lines straight away, or is there a bit of chit chat beforehand?
Well, we spent the whole week talking about going through scene by scene, and obviously the truth is with most actors, they are obviously very different in real life to how they are when we see them, Sean was disarmingly quiet and thoughtful and kind, I expected that, to be honest. I expected him to be that. So it was just an absolute pleasure. It's not difficult to look like you are both in love with him and then deeply infuriated.
Jacket potatoes.
About jacket potatoes. I mean, why would the man? What is this obsession? And it is an obsession.
We've all been there.
What's interesting is watching the clip is I know that there would be a debate to be had in our household if I'd have booked seats opposite the aisle, one on one side and one on the other. So you're like, why are we not sat together?
Yeah. Or you know when it's getting on when you want to be sat further apart.
Never. The only thing that separates us is the drinks trough.
This is true.
Emma would have definitely booked the tickets, so maybe that's down to her.
That was on her. That
was within her domain.
That was probably intentional. Now, we've seen you before play characters that are unhappily married, as it were. Why do you think, Nicola, those storylines are so popular? Because they really are.
I think we're just obsessed with relationships generally, aren't we? Most dramas, if you look at them, at the heart of them, it's about a human relationship. Even the fabulously crazy stuff I've been watching, all through lockdown, very extreme fantasy set on another planet TV shows. When you take it down to the root, they're always actually about human relationships.
Yeah.
Because it's the best story to tell, and it's the one that we all relate to and we can all understand.
I must ask you before we go about the split, because that ended earlier this year, and it is genuinely my favourite thing to watch. I've done it twice now. Wow. I've done it twice because I love it so much. Can we expect more? I'm asking for the super fan in me.
Well, above my pay grade. That is down to Abby Moore. Without doubt, but I'm just going to. These happen to be right here. If you watch the split, you might know what these symbolise. So I've been given these. I don't know if that means I'll get to ever use them again.
Well, I'm going to take that as a yes,
There
because I will.
Yeah, we're taking that. Nicola, thank you so much. Absolute joy to be able to chat to you via the internet.
So brilliant, and that starts on the 14th of August. Thank you very much, Nicola.
Awesome. Yeah, in just a moment.